Communications Director for Priests for Life, here with your pro-life news break for Friday, September 12th. After a 33-hour investigation and 7,000 tips from the public, the FBI arrested 22-year-old Tyler Robinson and will charge him with the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk Wednesday at Utah Valley University. At a press conference this morning, Utah Governor Spencer Cox said a family member, later confirmed to be Robinson's father, turned him into authorities. Robinson is not a student at Utah Valley, where Kirk was speaking to 3,000 people at an outdoor event organized by Turning Point USA, the organization he founded in 2012. Family members said Robinson had become more political recently, though few details about him were released at the press conference that also included remarks from FBI Director Kash Patel and Utah County Sheriff Mike Smith. Robinson lives with his family about 2.5 hours away from the campus, where 31-year-old Kirk was killed by a bolt-action rifle fired from the roof of a building more than 100 yards away. President Trump was first to announce that Kirk had died following the shooting at 12:23 p.m. Mountain Time on Wednesday. And on Fox and Friends today, the president announced that a suspect had been apprehended at 10 p.m. Mountain Time Thursday. Cox said the state has 3 days to bring charges against Robinson and previously said he would seek the death penalty. Robinson is currently being held without bail in Utah County Jail. Speaking at length about the political and ideological differences that divide this country and too often lead to violence, Cox said, "We can return violence with violence, we can return hate with hate, and that's the problem with political violence, it metastasizes. Because we can always point the finger at the other side, and at some point we have to find an off-ramp or it's going to get much, much worse. History will dictate if this is a turning point for our country, but every single one of us gets to choose right now if this is a turning point for us." Kirk, a married father of 2 children, a 1-year-old son and a 3-year-old daughter, was a staunch pro-life advocate who once was asked what he would do if he were the father of a 10-year-old girl impregnated by a rapist. The baby would be delivered, he said, standing by his conviction that the unborn are human beings with full human rights. Priests for Life National Director Frank Pavone said Robinson's arrest is just the beginning. "This public enemy should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law," Pavone said. "The just punishment should be delivered without any delays whatsoever, and then further punishment must be given to the destructive ideologies of the left, taking funding away from their platforms and institutions, exposing the emptiness of their arguments through the kind of constructive debate Charlie championed, and decisively defeating their left-wing candidates at the ballot box. The golden age of America truly has begun and will only accelerate." In a win for life this week, a 3-judge panel of a federal appeals court yesterday allowed the Trump administration to block Medicaid funding to Planned Parenthood while legal challenges against the defunding continue. The One Big Beautiful Bill signed by President Trump on July 4th cut off Medicaid reimbursement funds to the nation's biggest abortion seller for 1 year. Planned Parenthood filed a legal challenge, and a district court judge later that month ruled Planned Parenthood's killing centers must continue receiving the funding while the lawsuit made its way through the courts. Yesterday's ruling overturns the district court judge's finding. Planned Parenthood has said more than 200 of its centers could close as a result of the defunding. California Governor Gavin Newsom is set to sign a bill that thumbs its nose at pro-life laws in states that protect most babies from abortion. The bill allows abortion sellers to mail abortion pills, including 2 states where chemical abortion is banned, without the name of the patient, prescriber, or pharmacist. The bill will have an enormous impact because a majority of chemical abortion sellers across the country use pharmacies based in California to dispense and ship the pills. The measure will protect prescribers from prosecution when they intentionally break state laws by mailing the deadly pills to mothers in the 8 states where chemical abortion is banned. New York State Attorney General Letitia James said she will intervene in a lawsuit filed by Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton against a New York doctor accused of prescribing abortion pills to a patient in Texas, where babies are protected from chemical abortion. James is seeking to uphold New York's SHIELD law, which protects New York healthcare providers from out-of-state legal actions related to abortion. Paxton says the U.S. Constitution requires states to recognize judicial enactments of other states' courts. Maria Rojas, a Texas midwife arrested in March for committing illegal abortions, has officially been indicted on 15 felony charges, including 3 counts of performing an abortion and 12 counts of practicing medicine without a license. Rojas owned, operated, and committed abortions at multiple facilities in the Houston area. According to the Houston Chronicle, she is accused of hiring 9 employees to treat patients and prescribe medication without being licensed physicians. That's some of what's making news this week. Tomorrow is the National Day of Remembrance for Aborted Children, an annual event started in 2013 by Priests for Life and 2 other pro-life organizations. People will gather at burial sites and memorials all over the country to mourn the loss of more than 65 million babies legally murdered in this nation since 1973. If you attend a memorial, please email me a photo at media@priestsforlife.org. We'll post them on our website and share on our social media. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful weekend, and please remember that life is the